Okay, greetings to everybody. Okay, I'm not starting in 10 minutes, I'm starting right now. I don't know what the comment came out, but hey guys, how's everybody doing? Today is Thursday, and of course, today we're going to spend some time together to discuss the immigration laws. We're going to discuss the what's going on right now in the immigration field. And the main topic of today's meeting is to discuss how to transfer your business to the US amid global instabilities. Okay, so we're going to be talking about, first of all, the ways to do this, and second of all, the final result, the final goal that we may have participating in this process. All right, and of course, as always, I want to see the questions from you. Regardless when you join this stream, I want to see something that you don't understand, that you want to discuss, something that I said you don't understand, and everything along those lines. Okay, so please make sure that you drop the questions if you have them. And of course, these streams are not always for those who are present at this time. I know that a lot of you watch the streams after all, okay, after we finish, because someone has some errands to run, someone is busy. So definitely ask the questions after the stream in the comment section, because I do know that you guys do this sometimes, all right? And I definitely get back to you and take care of your questions. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so whoever is here, hello, who is here? Drop your location, drop where you're located, your country and your city. I'm located in Miami, Florida. I'm working today from my office. And also smash that like button, guys, if you're here, just to give me some love and show me some appreciation for what I do. And hey, Zach, hello, where are you from? Zach Higgins. I can't even, even if I wanted to try to guess where you're from, Zach, I mean, I don't know, maybe Great Britain. So let me know. Let me know where you're from. So guys, let's talk. Let's be real. First of all, let's be real. We're going to be discussing the business in the US as of today. We're going to be discussing the programs that work best for opening up a startup, of doing the business, the type of a business you want to do. So we're going to be discussing all this. But before we even get down to this discussion, let's be real, because and you know me, I don't like to to try to be fishy or sneaky, try to provide some wrong information. I like to be real with you guys, and I think that's what you appreciate in me. There we go. Zach from Dublin, Ireland. So not quite Great Britain, but I was really close. Okay, so give me credit. I was close. So you're in LA on Esta Vista, but want to live here. Hey Zach, I don't blame you. Look, when I came in the US first time, which was 2003. Okay, 20 years ago was the first time I came to the States. I was 18 years old, and let me tell you, once they opened up the door in the airplane and I went inside of JFK Airport in New York, I remember this day as if it was yesterday. just what I saw, like it was not verbal, okay? It was intangible. It was something in the air. I knew for sure that this is my place, okay? I didn't know anything about immigration. I didn't know anything about how things work and what's going on. I knew nothing. I knew for sure 20 years ago, as I was making my first steps in the JFK airport, this is my country. I came back as if it was my home. Okay? No, let me rephrase it. I came to this country as if I came back home. Okay? Although I've never been here. So, Zach, we're on the same page. And I'm glad that you're here on this stream because I can help you out if you want to come to the States through a business, through your talents, if you have some recognition in your field, or through a project in the national interest of the US. Okay, and I do not yet have any clients from Ireland. Okay, so maybe Zach, you will be the first one. Although I do have clients from more than 50 countries in the world. Ireland is not one of them. Hey, I'm open to any country. For me, it doesn't really matter as long as we can satisfy the criteria. So let's talk about what's going on in a business sphere today in the US. And guys, let's face it. Yes, we are not in the recession. Okay? The US economy is not in the recession. Although it's looming on the horizon, maybe it's gonna come, maybe it's not gonna come, but we definitely know there are a lot of problems. Okay, how do we know that? Well, we look at the layoffs in the high-tech jobs like IT, engineers, and things like that, and we see that it's happening. It's happening a lot, and this is the first sign of that the economy is not in a good shape. We see the very high interest rate on the loans, and the interest rates are coming from the Fed, from Federal Reserve, and they show the signs that they are going to continue to raise the rates up, maybe up to the second quarter of 2024. Okay, so next year, 2024, and that's going to make things worse. Okay. What they are trying to do, they're trying to suck the money out of the system, okay? And I know some of you guys are really good with finances and understand that S&P index and how economy works and the inflation and the interest rates. I know some of you do, but some of you don't. So that's why I want to make sure that you understand how economy and finance works until you start making your moves for the purpose of business immigration or any immigration for that purpose. Because even EB1A, even O1 visa, even EB2 NIW, they have a component of the business. All right, you still have to a lot of times to open a company. You still have to provide services or sell goods. So you kind of have to understand how economy works to be successful in that, all right? That's why maybe for some of you it's like ABC, okay, Stanislav, just move on. But I know that there are people who don't understand it. So what's happening right now? Right now, the inflation is so high that is caused by that a lot of money that has been printed for the past 2-3 years. And we know COVID, we know all these things that happen, and because the economy was not moving, the U.S. government had to print a lot of money to support itself, right, and not to default on its obligations, and that's still going. All right, so that means that we have a lot of money, and when we have a lot of money in the system, the value of that money is going down. Okay, I'm sure you guys seen many times this chart where it shows the value of US dollar for the past 100 years. And the value has been going down. What it actually means? That actually means that 100 years ago, for $1, you could buy this much. And as of today, for $1, you can buy just this or nothing. You can buy nothing for $1, okay? So that means that the money was debased or devalued, okay? Another term. And again, I don't want to make it like a huge lecture on the finance, although I'm really good with the finance, I understand how things work, but I want to give you the basics, okay? The basics of finance in any country in the world, including the US. So the dollar is being debased, is being devalued, and it causes a huge inflation because the value of the money is low. So we need more money to purchase certain goods or services. All right. So this causes the inflation, and the prices are going up. So what the Federal Reserve is doing right now, and has been historically doing, they increase the interest rate for the money that may be borrowed. Okay, because how things work with the borrowing money. When you go to the bank and want to borrow the money from them, they borrow the money from the Federal Reserve, okay? And depending on the interest rate on the that Federal Reserve has, the bank provides you the same plus their own interest, okay? Because they want to make money. They want to make money. So if the interest rate right now, don't quote me on the exact number, is 5.75, I think, something around that number, the bank wants to add another 2-3% on that to make more money. All right. So when you go to the bank right now, trying to get the loan for whatever, it could be the mortgage, it could be your business loan, whatever that is, you're gonna be getting a huge interest rate, maybe 7, maybe 8%, which makes borrowing really expensive. Okay, and that slows down the economy. People don't spend a lot of money, so the money do not turn a lot within the economy. That slows down the inflation, and the inflation then causes the Federal Reserve to lower the interest rate. Okay? I feel like a professor in the university today, guys. Just giving you a U.S. attorney is giving you a lecture on U.S. finance. Okay, how strange that is. Okay, it is what it is. So we are not going to see the lowering of the interest rate up until 2024. Okay, realistically. So that means when you come to the States and you want to do business, that adds up a lot of responsibility on you. What it means in the practical sense? Well, that means that when you come on a business visa to the States, you have certain obligations to create jobs, to make profit, to do some economical impact. So it's really hard to do economical impact when you cannot borrow money from the bank, cheap money, okay, like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5%. You have to pay a lot of interest, so you have to make more money. So it makes business very complicated, and you grow slowly. So you have to have, realistically, if you today come to the States to do business, first of all, good budget. Okay, you have to have money. How much money? I don't know. Depending on your business. Okay, I don't know. There's a lot of businesses, so depending on your business, when you do the calculations, how much money you make it double. Okay, let's say Zach, you're like, okay, let me open up, I want to do E2 visa, I want to open up, I don't know, Zach, what you want to open up? You want to open up a restaurant in LA, okay? You want to sell traditional Irish food to people in America, make good money. So you start thinking about your business plan. Okay, I need to rent a place, I need to buy equipment, I need to hire the people, the staff, the wait staff, I need to do some marketing, I need to buy the actual food and everything else, okay? So you calculated that you will need $150,000, for example, okay? Realistically, today, to be able to actually do this business and be able to extend your immigration status in the future, I would make it double. Okay, I know it sounds crazy, but if you do this, if you rely on a higher number totally, like not 150, but maybe $300,000, and you never spend it, good, no problem, right? No harm. But if you come to the point when you really need more money into your business and you don't have it, that's what the real problem comes in, because you already invested. You already spent extra money for the attorney, for the business plan, for everything. You already made your move. So you left something behind, you made your move to the States, you stay here, and you put your time and time and money and effort, right? And if that didn't work out, imagine the damage. Imagine the damage. This is gonna hurt a lot, okay? Not only the feelings, but materially, financially, and everything else. So we want to make sure that in today's world, in today's reality, when we're doing business immigration, we actually have more money than we plan to spend. And number two, we want to have a really good idea. Okay? Really good idea. And again, let's go to the basics of a business. And I know some of you guys are really successful business people, and you'll be like come on, Stanislav, like, stop lecturing us on simple things. But I know some of you still don't. You may be successful business people, but you may not know the basics of starting the business. Okay, that was me. That was me. I was kind of successful businessman without knowing the basics. And when I knew the basics, things became really easy. Okay, so how do we know that our idea is going to work? Okay, how do we know that? Like without actually being in the market, what can we do to learn that? So that's called MVP and hypothesis. Okay, so you gotta have MVP, minimal viable product. Okay, something you have to offer to people. So services or goods. Okay, probably with a restaurant it's not gonna work because with a restaurant you have to actually study the competition, the market, and everything. But with the majority of the business, when you sell goods or when you sell services, you still can test your hypothesis. So you create some kind of marketing campaign, okay? And you put your hypothesis in this marketing campaign. Let's say you want to sell the scissors, okay? You want to sell the scissors. So you create a marketing campaign on the platform that you think is the best for selling the scissors. It could be Instagram, it could be Amazon, it could be some landing page, it could be Facebook, whatever. You could have one hypothesis, you could have more. Okay, so you create a campaign and you see you start it and you see if you have orders for these scissors. All right, and let's say you run the campaign for 3 days. For 4 days, you collect the leads and you see if people order these scissors. And after you collected all the leads, basically all the purchases, you first look how much money you spent on your marketing campaign and on your product, okay, the cost of the scissors, and how much money you spent to actually market it, to sell it, and how many purchases you have. So you got to do your math. If you are in profit after you got the orders for your scissors, so if you are in profit after all the expenses that you have and all the profit that you have, that means that your hypothesis was successful, okay? And you can start your business. And the more you spend on marketing, the more sales you will have, okay? So it's a successful business idea. If you learn that your margin of profit is very low or non-existent, that means that this hypothesis did not work. Okay, this idea did not work. You need to test another idea, and you'd be like, okay, Stanislav, but what about those people who purchased the scissors? We're not selling them, right? Yes, you're gonna refund the money. You're gonna refund the money. Say, I'm sorry, some technical issues, so we couldn't process your whatever. Like we have to be honest. We can't keep the money without selling the scissors. Okay, so that's how you can test pretty much any idea in services or goods in the States. Okay, once you know that you have the margin, the good enough margin of profit, you know how to scale it, okay, how to grow your business, because you know this amount of money is the cost of the advertising, and that's how much money I'm gonna make. So if I put $1 million in advertising, that's how much profit I'm gonna make. All right, I mean, of course, it's a simplistic way to explain how to do this, but for those of you who are in the business, you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is realistically is the cheapest and the best and the fastest way to see if whatever you want to do in the States, at least as of today, is going to work out. Okay? If you go blindly to start up your business in the States, I mean, you're just going to have more risk, and you're going to probably spend more money doing the research and development. Okay? So that's the theory behind it. Then let me guys know if what I'm telling you is making sense. Okay, because if I'm just wasting my breath, I mean, this is I know this. I want to make sure that what I'm telling you is something that you can get some value out of. Okay, let's see. Gabriela, this is actually pretty valuable information. Okay, Gabriela, thank you for your feedback. Because I do think this is a very valuable information for people who are in business overall, right? So I do appreciate some feedback. Restaurant business is pretty much both service and goods. Yes, that's correct. A restaurant is both services and goods. However, I don't see how you can test the idea of restaurant without actually having a restaurant. Okay, so and that's why opening up a restaurant is kind of risky business. Okay, because you don't know, and especially it's a risky business if you've never done it before. Okay, and you guys know I'm not a big fan of trucking businesses and the restaurant businesses. I'm always telling you about this. Why? Well, for those reasons. Okay, this is one of the reasons you cannot test it. You cannot test the industry. You have to go all in and see if you survive. Okay, and if you do, you're going to be really profitable because both trucking business and restaurants are really profitable. But if you are not successful, you're going to lose a lot of money. Okay, and I'm not a fan of losing a lot of money. All right, so let's see what else I want to share with you today. So once you tested your idea, or once you know, or you did a really good research, you analyze the competition, you analyze how they make money. Maybe you hired some consultants in the US, and you're like, okay, I think I got it. I think I got a good grasp of the idea, and I want to start. Okay, I want to start. And if that is the case, so what are the next steps you want to do? Number one, you want to register a company in the US, and you have a bunch of options. What kind of incorporation you're going to have? But there are two main options. Option number one is LLC. Option number two is corporation. And I'm not a licensed accountant to advise you on which one is better for the tax purposes, although I know certain things. But from the standpoint of general understanding, if you are going to make, or you plan to profit at least $100,000, and when I say profit, I mean the net profit. Okay, all the money that came in and minus all the expenses. So this is your net profit after all the deductions, all the salaries, all the wages, and everything else. Okay, so if you're planning to make above 100K within the next 2-3 years, then start with the corporation. Okay, this is going to be a better choice. If you're not planning to make that much money within the next 2-3 years, start with the LLC. Okay, because LLC is easier to incorporate, it's easier to renew, it's easier with the documents and everything else. Okay, so that's this one of the factors you need to factor in when you're choosing between LLC and a corporation. Okay, and there's more to this. Number two, you need to get EIN. EIN is a employment identification number, which is provided to you by IRS. IRS is a tax agency in the US that takes care of all the taxes. So once you have a registered company in the US and you have EIN, you may take these documents and go to the bank and open up a banking account. All right, so you need a business checking. So you could transfer your investment on that business checking and then start spending, depending on the program, if it's an E2, if it's L1, if it's O1, if it's EB2 NIW. You know, most of the time you have to show that you have some kind of investment in your company. And of course, then uh, you're going to start your immigration process, right? And by the way, sometimes you first need to pick a visa or a program which you're going to participate in order to then do the steps that I mentioned before. Okay, not always, but I think it's best when you actually know the purpose that you're opening up your company, and the amount of money that you transfer into that bank account would largely depend also on the immigration program. So, for example, if you go with the E2 program, which is an investment visa, of course, you need not only transfer the money to this banking account, but also spend 60 to 70% of that amount. Okay, so for example, going back to the restaurant, we're opening up a new restaurant, so we are planning that it's going to cost us $150,000. So by the time when we file your petition, we want to see that you spend already like $90,000, $100K to start operations of your business. Okay, so that's how it goes with E2. When we talk about L1 visa, which is intercompany transfer, so you have a business outside of the US, you want to open up a business in the US and transfer yourself from business outside of the US to the business in the US. Okay, so this is L1 visa. You still have to show the business plan and you have an investment in your startup business in the US, but you do not have to spend that money. All right. And this is the huge difference between E2 and L1. You may start spending money on L1 only after you got an approval for your visa. Okay, and this is, I think, a really good benefit of L1 visa. So, in other words, and again, today it's I don't wanna make the main topic of choosing the proper program for the purpose of doing business in the US. I just want to make sure that you understand that there are a bunch of programs that you may be able to participate. And of course, on my YouTube channel, there are a lot of content on each of those visas that I mentioned, right? L1, E2, EB5, O1, EB2, NIW, and everything related to those visas. Okay, so that's the way I want you guys to proceed. Also, do not forget, guys, that I have a free evaluation of your situation, of your cases. I dropped you the links in the comment section. One is for business visas, one for investment visas. Okay, you can always fill out those forms and absolutely for free. I will get back to you and tell you, hey, Zach, hey, Gabriela, you guys have a potential for this or that visa. Let's meet at a complex immigration planning. Okay, so these are your first steps to go by when you want to immigrate to the US. All right, so I kind of mentioned everything that I wanted. So guys, let's see if you have questions. If you have questions, now is a good time to ask them. If you do not have any questions, of course, we're going to be wrapping up and I'm going to be wishing you a good weekend. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes so you could see if something that I told you is not clear, or you want to discuss maybe something else. And if you do, please write it down in the comment section. I will definitely address that. Otherwise, we're going to be finishing very soon. Okay, guys, so I don't see any questions, of course. My time is very valuable. So we had a good 30 minutes. If you were late for the stream, please make sure you rewatch it because there was a bunch of good information in the beginning. Otherwise, you guys have a very good weekend and I'll see you next Thursday. I'm Stanislav Shamayev, a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.